It might seem that happiness and boredom are completely opposites. But oddly enough, boredom is actually necessary to reach true satisfaction in life. Why and how? That's what I'll reflect on today. I'll share a story, maybe more than one, and you'll see how a life that feels boring can actually help make life brighter and happier. I live in a place that attracts lovers of a bright and colorful life, mainly tourists. No, I wouldn't say I live a vibrant life myself. On the contrary, I came to this charming provincial town for quiet, peaceful, even a bit boring life. But now my relatives and friends are lining up to visit me, not to get bored with me, but because they believe that here, where the sun and the sea, a lively and vibrant life rages. See how life can be so nuanced, my dear friend. They think I have a vibrant life here, and they want to deep into that for just a little while. In the meantime, I live a pretty boring life and do my best to keep it that way, while they try to turn my quiet life into something bright and fun as they see it. Maybe you've heard the saying, to truly relax, you need to work hard first. Or to live the way you want, you have to live the way you don't want. Or to live brightly, you need to try hard. But it turns out all that effort is a grey, monotonous, routine and boring life. Living day to day, just existing, or even just surviving, in the hope that someday, during the weekend, vacation or retirement, you'll finally be able to truly live. Sound familiar, right? It does to me. I've lived like that week to week, vacation to vacation. That's how my parents, grandparents, uncle and aunts lived. Now my younger relatives, brothers, friends, even our little Stemi and his girlfriend are living that way too. And when they come for their vacations here, that's when the real bright life begins for us. For a while now, we've been living this bright life with our aunt. Last summer, she was upset because she made a big mistake. She only managed to have 2 vibrant weeks here. This time, she promised us ahead that she wouldn't make that mistake again. She'd spend a full, lively month, maybe even 2. Our aunt is always living from one exciting event to another. She reminds me so much of my village grandma. For my beloved granny, a great life was all about holidays, either going to or organizing them herself. There could be 10, 15 such holidays a year, and they were the bright spots on the calendar. The other days were all about celebrations, either preparing for them or looking back at photo albums if someone still remembers those. For our aunt, A bright life is about small or big trips, especially to the sea. To get that precious slice of bright life once a year, she saves up and lives very simply, according to her idea of boring. Her most exciting days during the year are the trips to the sea. The rest is all leading up to it or reminiscing on her phone when she's back home. That's how everyday boring life helps her create the illusion of brightness. She spends months, sometimes a whole year, looking forward to it. And she's so excited about it. She even bought a hat, new flip-flops for swimming, and pink rollers for next season. And this time, 2 months before her arrival, we even received her personal foldable chair. We almost wanted to put a sign on it saying "Auntie," like film directors do with their chairs. Because honestly, she wrote the script, directed the movie, and defined all the roles in her feature film titled My Endless Summer. My husband and I got minor roles, like the errand boy, paparazzi, maid, and junior chef. Of course, the main star, the boss chef, and lead actress went to the director herself. So, the main character is on her way to the long-awaited sea. According to her script, she expects the annual film festival with red carpets and movie stars here. She packed fancy dresses, shoes, even beads. But shockingly, it got cancelled this time.
Да что я артистов не видела? Я его артистов видела, а Пенкина видела, вот как вас сейчас. Я разговаривала с ним.
And her bright life suddenly dimmed a bit. The sea wasn't as warm as this time last year by 2 degrees, and the brightness faded further. And then more sad notes crept in. High prices, not the same sausage and cheese, and the fellow travelers didn't share her sense of humor. You might think she just had bad luck this time, but it seems this happens everywhere she goes. When she visited Hainan, the ocean waves were rough. In Spain there were too many seaweed. In Egypt the sun was too strong and the air conditioning too weak. The list goes on. And now we baked her favorite Royal English apple pie, her signature dish. But it didn't turn out quite royal. It lacked the right flour, the perfect apples, though here we have the best quality fruit and products in the country. And the scary-looking stingrays she heard about on the beach, which she didn't quite see in the end. Thankfully, our aunt has a great sense of humor. We joke about all this together. She understands it all and laughs at herself and us too, saying that we are the most boring people in the world because we don't watch TV and don't know what happens in the world right now.
Можно небольшое блюдо? Не задерживай. Он горячий, надо мне...
You see, she suffered and endured so much all year long. But the free public restroom still doesn't have paper towels. She's worked her whole life like a hamster on a wheel, yet her bright life never actually happened. No photos on the red carpet, no stories of a bright, joyful, endless summer. She always aimed for a bright life. She chose the profession of architecture. After all, something colorful and creative. When I visited her workplace, I was stunned. It seemed to be the most boring place I'd ever seen, I swear, even though I'd been to a lot of places because of my previous job. Recently, I asked her, if you love the sun and sea so much, why not just move here? Then your dream bright life could be year-round. She responded wisely, with her gaze on her inner horizon. Nah, then it wouldn't be the same bright life anymore. And I looked at her noble profile and thought, maybe out of old habit she needs to go back to her boring, cold, great life, back to the north, probably to the frost. Only then maybe her seaside vacations will truly be bright again. If she lives here year-round, that romantic movie will turn into a boring series. To make the story a little brighter, she'd need to go somewhere else, in another sea, where it's basically the same, cold water, seaweed, stingrays, and as expected in such stories, maybe a shark's fin popping up for some extra thrill. But for now, I already know how the plot will unfold. That she hasn't written yet. Because that's always been the case. Soon, I hope so, our aunt will return from her endless sunny film to her cold, harsh, maybe snow-covered reality. She'll sit in her armchair, bored, embroidering or knitting bright creations of hers, sighing as she looks out the window and reminiscing about her really bright and joyful endless summer. My dear friend, in the quiet rhythm of a seemingly boring life, we can find the hidden foundation of genuine happiness. Sure, those bright vacations and exciting trips are fun and all, they're wonderful, but they are only flashes of joy. The vibrancy of fleeting holidays and grand adventures, much like the bright films we dream of, can overshadow the beauty of routine. Like my aunt's endless summer that flickers with hopes and disappointments, life invites us to see beyond the superficial brightness. Maybe real fulfillment isn't about chasing after the shine, but about learning to see the beauty in the subtle glow of daily life. In that delicate balance, we learn that life's richest colors are often woven through the threads of ordinary days. Those silent architects of lasting contentment. Soon, my dear friend, we'll meet again and reflect more. In the meantime, if you haven't seen it yet, check out my previous video Why I Still Live a Boring Life. And next time, I'll tell you how it happened that my boring life is actually quite bright. With love, your Dreamy.